Welcome, everybody. I'm Suzanne Shirley, and I am here tonight. I'm trying to get my video set up. Okay, speaker view. Fun, isn't it? Okay. I'm going to get myself somehow I'm going to get speaker view going so that this will, I just can't figure out how to do it. Okay, there we go. Welcome. This is chapter 1 and 2 of Presley Swagerty's Millionaire by Halftime. And I'm so glad to have all of you on tonight. And this is going to be an amazing, incredible experience. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the foreword, and I can't find how to. I can't find how to. Hang on, I'm trying to get my stupid video. Okay, I'm just going to have to go with the way it is. It's bugging me. I've got two people in the background and a person's head that's like ginormous, and then I'm in the middle of it. So, okay, we're going to move past that. This is the foreword of the book, and I thought it was extremely important to start with that because, you know, these are people that talk directly about Presley Swagerty. And they comment about what it took to make him the kind of person that he is today to be successful. So with that said, we have an excerpt from Randy Hedge, and this is one of his friends, okay? And he was asked, what is the one thing that has made Presley Swagerty successful? And he lets everyone know that he was able to watch the personal growth and development of Presley over the years, that he took note of that, and it was quite profound to see him develop. And that it was obvious that they all observed, he and his friends, they observed his personal growth and development. He speaks about his dedication, perseverance, commitment, and vision, but that personal growth is what stood out. And it helped him to explode in a successful business that he eventually started. And he said that he had always had leadership skills, but he experienced the most amazing expansion and maturity in his leadership that few have ever accomplished. And I like the fact that he uses the word maturity, because maturity is so necessary. It is imperative. Emotional maturity, social awareness, emotional maturity, emotional awareness. Those things are extremely important in order to be successful. Says that he calls him the coach, basically. Never been afraid of hard work, never forgotten his beliefs and core values, fair, honest, kind, very patient, diplomatic, compassionate, a helper, a supporter, an encourager, and a giver of himself. I like that one. Presley is a giver of himself. He gives of his time freely. He probably doesn't think two thoughts about who it is that he's going to spend his time with before he begins giving himself. He goes ahead and gives himself freely. But the most compelling thing out of everything, if he were to choose, the most important thing about Presley, he says, if I could pick one thing that has made Presley Swagerty successful, it would be his attitude. His attitude is his. He owned it. He constantly chooses whether he's going to control his thoughts and his attitude, and whether he will allow the circumstances or someone else to control it. So that is imperative. As leaders, we must control our attitude. That is the one thing that we are in control of. We get to choose how we respond and react to circumstances. We cannot choose the circumstances in our life, but we can respond and choose our response to those circumstances. And that's when we choose our attitude. You know, I remember a famous quote that I hung in my classroom. Life is about 10% of what happens to you and 90% about how you react to it. And so when you can control your reactions and you can control your attitude about those circumstances, you have emotional maturity. Now, have we all failed at this? Absolutely. You're looking at a hothead right here. And so I have to really watch myself. But I've noticed that the more time that I spend going after this concept right here and controlling my emotions, controlling my attitude, the way I look at things, I have less and less of a meltdown, less and less of a bad reaction, less and less of a negative thought. And I'm learning how to get rid of those thoughts and put them where they belong, which is out of my head, right? Okay, so the coach has control and mastery of his attitude. He has an unusual ability to find the good and the positive and the hope in just about any situation or person, which is so compelling. And the fact that he is genuine, he speaks about that he's a genuine person. He said he's the same person whether he's in front of thousands of people or that he's riding around in a Jeep in a deer camp with his buddy, okay? And the fact that he has the ability to always look at the glass as if it is half full. That's huge. Huge, huge, huge. Okay, so Presley was raised by his mom in a drug-infested neighborhood in a hard part of town, right? And his mom made him who he is today. He always gives her the credit for the fact that he is a great person today because she instilled in him the hardworking values, the genuine sincerity that's in his heart. She provided for them by working 60 hours a week in a sewing factory in a school cafeteria, but she taught them about life and the Lord. She taught them about the Lord. And he's the man he is today because of his mom. And he always had a desire to be great from the very beginning of his life. And he just didn't want to just get by. He wanted to be a great person. And he found that he had an increasing desire to have more, be more, and do more. And this desire grew from the idea of the idea that began in him to a burning desire to succeed. And so what he did is he went directly into athletics and became a coach, okay? And he had some role models that really inspired him and molded him as a coach. And when he, right before his profession in being a coach, and when he was in college and he was an athlete, some of his friends would cross the line doing some things that they shouldn't be doing, and they would ask him to take part. And the only thing that would pull him back, the thing that would pull him back the most, was the fact that he had worked so hard for his position on the team, and he was not going to jeopardize that by making poor choices. So the fact that he was wise and he chose the wise things to do. And finally, when he became a coach, he found himself at the end of every month not being able to make ends meet, living month to month, paycheck to paycheck. And he said he found himself reworking just 4 months of the budget to get 2 brand new tires for his car. And that I think we all can relate to. And he realized that it was time to change. And after 16 years of coaching and several district titles, which means he was very successful, and numerous playoff appearances, he was only making $1,000 more per month than when he had started. So he knew that if he wanted to change, he would have to make a change. And the famous Jim Rohn, which I personally love Jim Rohn. If you've not gotten a chance to ever listen to Jim Rohn, he is incredible, okay? Incredible. Go and look him up on YouTube. Do a search for Jim Rohn, R-O-H-N. Listen to some of his speeches. He is incredible. One of his famous quotes, I'm getting off the subject, that I have taken on myself that I love is talk about things that matter to people who care. And if you make your life busy doing that, talking about things that matter to people who care, you're going to do nothing but create success for yourself. So what did Jim Rohn say? He said that when the student is ready, a teacher will appear. And that is so true. It often works that way in life. And God knew that Presley Swagerty was ready to change. So he joined his high school friend in a big network marketing company, and they began to build a future. Eventually, Presley created his own time. He could work when he wanted to, with whomever he wanted to, but he was not financially free. And so that explains my life right now. I have my own time. I can work when I want, with whomever I want, but I am not financially independent and free yet. I have replaced my salary so that I can stay at home and do Plexus and not have to go to my 8 to 10 hour job. And that's where he was at this point in the very big introduction. And so what we're going to talk about in the rest of this book right here is how he became financially independent. What does financially independent mean? Let's describe that just real quick. Financially independent means you can live wherever you want. You might be able to have a second home. And you can move to either home and live wherever you want during the year. Financial independence means you can help people without looking at your paycheck, without looking at your, sorry, not paycheck, checkbook. That's what I meant to say. You can help people when you're just doesn't even matter. You're not even thinking about yourself. You just help other people. What else does financial independence mean? It means that you can just buy an airline ticket and you can take your whole family and you can go on vacation in the middle of the winter someplace. Go to the beach, not even think about it. That's financial independence. It's not thinking about it and doing the things you feel are necessary for your family. Making choices that are necessary for your family and for anyone else that you care about in your life without having to think about yourself and the bottom dollar that's in your checkbook first. That's financial independence. And security for your future. Security for your future. So I wanted you to know what financial independence actually might look like. And I have never experienced it before, and I cannot wait, and I want to bring all of you with me. So as I say that, I'm going to begin chapter 1. So here we go. Your life is the big leagues. As soon as you start to realize that you yourself are literally on the playing field of life, that what you do every single day is in the big leagues. When you start to realize that, that's when things are going to take off for you. You cannot escape from reality. 98% of America is living in that non-reality thing. They are watching other people. They're fascinated with athletes. They're fascinated with successful people. They live vicariously through them. They buy tickets to their concerts. They read the magazines to see about the very famous people in the world. They're curious about their injuries if they're a basketball player or a baseball player. They're curious about their families and what they do with themselves and all the different vacations that they take, and they keep track of all of that. But notice how they're just watching. They're voyeurs into the successful lives of other people. And that's what most people do. They buy their jerseys. They buy their game tickets. They just buy a windows view, maybe, into their life. And they never experience what it's actually like to be at the helm of their own life and create their own success. So here's a statistic for you, okay? 108 million people all watch a football game at any given time. Compare that to the fact that only 13.5 million people bought self-help books that were sold, actually not 13.5 million people, 13.5 million books were sold, self-help books were sold in the year of 2012. Now, compare that 108 million, right, people watching a football game to 13.5 million self-help books. What does that tell you? Not many people are growing personally. They're just not. They're watching other people grow. They're watching other people succeed, but they're not growing themselves. So here's what's most important that people miss. Our own lives are the real big leagues. The majority of people are looking to escape their reality by living vicariously through athletes or other celebrities. We've lost sight that our lives are the big leagues. Here in the real world, in the real big leagues, there are no do-overs, guys. We don't get any do-overs. mumbling my words. We don't get any do-overs. We get one time through. I love the statistic about how he talks about that we have 28,000 days. An average American has 28,000 days to make his or her fortune, leave his or her mark on this planet. And if you're at the age of 40, wow, that means that you are at the halftime of life. You only have 1,981 Tuesdays left to create a legacy, because the average life expectancy is 78 years, right? So we better get busy. We better get high behind. Okay? Life is precious. We need to value every moment that we have. What does the Dalai Lama say? To be born is a miracle. So what will you do with your life? What will you do with it? There's no dress rehearsal. This is it. Okay, so many people go through the day thinking that maybe they'll be given a second or a third chance to do something. They need to be reminded that in life there is no such thing as a dress rehearsal. This is it. And also the next thing that you need to remember is that your dreams can come true. Your dreams can come true if you start doing the things necessary to grow yourself and become a success. Also, he mentions there is no such thing as luck. There is no such thing as luck. So Presley believed that there was a way. He found himself a mentor. He found an opportunity. He changed. He grew. And he took action. And that is the key to all of it. He took action. If you follow these principles and believe in yourself, you can achieve things beyond your wildest dreams, and your dreams will come true. They will come true. Do you believe that your dreams will come true? That's the thing you've got to get your head around. If you are a silver ambassador with Plexus and you've been a silver ambassador this whole year, or let's just say that you've been in Plexus for a year and you're still a silver ambassador, what's holding you back? Let me tell you what's holding you back. Write up what's in here. What's up in here? You are the only person that's in your own way. No one else is in your way. You have to believe that you can do this, and you have to believe that your dreams can come true. And then you have to invest in your own personal growth and development. I'm going to help you do this every step of the way. As a team, I'm committed to you as your leader. I will never let you down. You will always have me, and we will do it together. I'll do whatever it takes to help you grow as long as you're putting in the work. But as soon as you realize that, you can make your dreams come true. You have to be teachable. You have to be coachable. You have to be willing to take the action necessary, even if you are afraid. Even if you're afraid. One of the biggest takeaways I took away from convention, because you're looking at a girl right here in this camera that's not afraid. Okay? My fear and my afraidness was the 23 years I was in the classroom. Okay? I learned how to fail. I fell on my face 1,000 times. I cried 1,000,000 tears. I had kids that were mad at me, kids that threw things at me, principals that threatened to fire me. I had parents that screamed at me over the phone. I pulled my hair out wondering how am I going to get through to these kids. I, by trial and error and trial and error and trial and error, realized how to become their leader. So I lost a lot of fear. My fear just went right out the window. It's gone. So I have worn away all that fear because I was a classroom teacher for so long. What I came away from convention is this, that a lot of you live in fear because there's diamonds and sapphires and emeralds on the stage talking about how afraid they were the whole time. Afraid, fearful, trembling, scared, but that they faced their fears and they took action and they did it afraid. And that's called courage. Courage is doing what you're afraid of in spite of your fear. And so if you can just take what they said and take what I'm telling you right now and know that everybody has fears and everybody has to face them. I had them. I just got rid of them. Maybe I've got some fears somewhere else, but I haven't discovered them yet. You're looking at a fearless person right here. I'm not afraid to talk to anybody. I don't care if they're the CEO of a company. Yeah, I would be a little bit nervous, but I don't care because I have the answer. And that guy is working his tail off, and he doesn't have any time to enjoy his yacht at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday morning. So guess what? I have the opportunity of a lifetime to offer him, right? And I'm not going to be afraid to talk to anybody, period. End of story. So I want you to have that fearlessness. I want you to have that confidence. So where do you begin? Where do you begin is you take responsibility for your life. I will be honest with you. I talked to a girl the other day in the tanning salon because I talk to everybody. I do. And quite frankly, I walked away from that conversation thinking, I don't want her on my team. I love her. I'm going to help her if she needs it. I even gave her my phone number. She can call me. But you know what? We can choose who to talk to and who to work with, because I will tell you something, that girl's got too much drama going on in her life, and she knows she needs to change, but she's not taking responsibility about it. And she told me all the things in her life, which I won't mention, that are so dramatic, and she has allowed them to happen to her. She has got to take responsibility and get some of those things out of her life before she'll ever be able to be successful. And it wouldn't matter if I offered to her this thing free on a platter. She would not be able to handle it because she has too much drama going on that she couldn't create that successful thing inside of herself. She's got too much negativity. So the thing that every time I told her and mentioned to her, yep, you've got to get out of that situation. You've got to move out of that situation. That girl always blamed the individual that's in her life that shouldn't be there. Well, yes, that person does this, that person does that. I say, wait just a minute. You are allowing that. You are allowing that. You choose to be in that situation. I'm not trying to be rude to you. You know that, right? I'm just trying to love on you here a minute, but you're just choosing to be in that situation. And I think she realized that for a little bit, but I'm just telling you, I'm using that as an example because we have to take responsibility for our lives if we are going to start to move in the right direction. And that's every aspect of our lives, every single aspect. So only you can do this. You're the only person that can take responsibility for every aspect of your life. And Presley finally realized that he can make excuses or he can make money. So you have to realize that too. You have to come to that realization. You can either make excuses or you can make money. Which one do you want to do? That's pretty interesting. So Presley made the decision that he was not going to let his past determine his future. And when he realized that there was no cavalry coming over the hill for him to save him, it was then that he realized that if it were to be, it was up to him to make it happen. And when he realized that his life was in the big leagues, that's when things started to change for him. So who's counting on you? Who's counting on you? He gives the example of a ship that was sunk by a German U-boat in World War II. 407 people died in this sunken ship disaster. But a staggering 260 people, take that back, out of 407 people, 267 died, right? But the remaining survivors reported, interviewed days later, said that what kept them from giving up was the thought that the people back home were counting on them. So think about that. Freezing water, however many hours it was. They could have frozen to death, but their will to survive persisted because they were thinking about the people at home depending on them. Their family was the most important thing on their mind every moment that they were fighting off freezing to death. Your why is going to be the thing that empowers you to bridge the gap between your fear and action. I'm going to say it again. That's not in the book. Your why is going to be the thing that bridges the gap between your fears and your action. So you better get yourself a why that's bigger than big can be. Something that's so write it down here in your heart. That thing that makes you tear up, that makes you get just sting in your eyes. The thing that just you want it so bad. And I'm not talking about dollar signs. And I'm not talking about a new car. And I'm not talking about a vacation. Unless you're so exhausted and you don't get any time and you never get to rest. That's different. I'm just talking about something that makes you cry, that makes you weep, that you want it so bad. You are on the field of life. You are in the big leagues, playing on your own field of life. Your grandstands are also full. All of your loved ones are there watching you. They are waiting and watching and wondering whether you're going to win or not. So will you? That's the question. Will you win? Will you do what it takes? Will you pay the price? Will you fight for them? That's a good question. And he says, I know who's counting on me. The question is, who is counting on you? So you need to ask yourself that question. Who is counting on you in your life? Extremely important. And that is a call to action, is to define for yourself who is counting on you in your life. Who is watching you? Who's expecting you to win? Who's waiting to see if you're going to win? And do they matter to you? Because I can guarantee you part of those people right there are your why. I can almost guarantee it. Chapter 2, the network marketing profession. Network marketing gives people the opportunity with very low risk and very low financial commitment to build their own income generating asset and acquire great wealth. Incredible what network marketing allows people to do. And that's Robert Kiyosaki. College is no longer the answer to a good life. I cannot even tell you how many times, even before network marketing, in my classroom, I was not telling kids that college was the answer. And is that terrible? Because I know that it's not. There are kids that have no college degree that have certifications in various different technological fields that make 3 or 4 or 5 times compared to what I had made as a teacher. And it was astounding to me. And these kids are going and getting degrees and paying $150,000 for degrees in things like psychology or a degree in something like astronomy. And what are they going to do with that? What are they going to do with that? Childhood nutrition. I mean, I don't know. You're going to have to get a master's degree or something. You're going to have to get a PhD. How much education is going to give somebody a good life? Not enough in today's time, okay? This change has fostered a much stronger interest in home-based businesses. So what is network marketing? People want to live with passion and they want to have a lifestyle that matters. So network marketing is a vehicle to help you own your own business, have the convenience of working from home, enjoying financial security, and experiencing the stress-free living. Realize the prestige of being successful and making lots of money. Lots of money. Lots and lots. Do you remember Jessica Heffley on the stage, a Diamond Ambassador at convention, saying, where else but Plexus can a person make more than a brain surgeon with their iPad and their yoga pants with their hair in a bun sitting on a couch? Where? No place but in network marketing, my friends. No place there, but there and in Plexus, if we're going to be specific. So what did J. Paul Getty say? He said, first of all, you've got to understand what leverage is first. You need to understand leverage and you need to understand residual income. So once you understand those two concepts, you're going to have this down. J. Paul Getty said, I would rather have 1% of the efforts of 100 people than 100% of my own efforts. I'll say it again. I would rather have 1% of the efforts of 100 people than 100% of my own by itself. That's a huge difference. That's called leverage. That's leverage. Residual income is doing something once, but getting paid for it over and over and over and over again forever. Okay. And that's incredible. Residual income keeps coming in long after the work is finished. So when did Warren Buffett learn what residual income was? Well, when he was 12 years old, he was a scholar. He was an academic scholar, but he also wanted to make money at the same time. So what did he do? He had this brilliant idea to buy a gumball machine. And so it came to him in the form of a gumball machine, and he could buy a gumball machine, and while he was in school, his gumball machine would be making him money. And that's exactly how he learned what leverage was. Warren Buffett had figured out leverage at the very young age of 12. So leverage is what in network marketing? Now, I highlighted this entire passage because it is so important to understand it. That's why I'm going to read it to you. So I'm going to do it. This is an awesome explanation. It is our turn to learn about leverage. There are only so many hours in a week with a job, which is an acronym for just above broke or just over broke. We can only trade so much time for so much money. Let's say you are a workaholic and you work 60 hours a week, assuming 4 weeks a month, that's 240 hours per month. That's all you've got. That's all the time you've got. There's no more. You can't be given any more. That you're limited. Now, let's contrast that with the building of a network marketing team. Here's the amazing thing. Get ready. Let's say you sponsor 3 people who go and sponsor 3 each, who sponsor 3 more each, who sponsor 3 more each, okay? Now you're down 4 levels, and that's 3, 9, 27, and 81 respectively on each level. You have a team of 120 people. Let's assume that those 120 people average just 4 hours a week, okay, working on their own business when they want to work it, right? That's 120 associates working 4 hours a week each, okay, for 4 weeks. So guess what? Do the math. 120 times 4 times 4, that's 1,920 hours of the team's labor. Incredible. Okay? So would you rather have 240 hours of your own or 1,920 hours from a team? There's the big answer for you. That's called leverage in network marketing, okay? So as you start to experience what it's like to leverage time and create passive residual income, you will have a new appreciation for the amazing power of leverage, just as Warren Buffett did. So what's the coach's tip? Creating leverage can change your life. Look at network marketing. Network marketing is shared by word of mouth. And what's more valuable than word of mouth? Would you rather see a spokesperson like Marie Osmond get on the TV and talk about Nutrisystem? Would you believe her over your best friend who just lost 50 pounds on a really amazing health product? I think I would listen to my friend who just lost 50 pounds on a health product than I would be inclined to call Nutrisystem with Marie Osmond on a television. So that's the point of network marketing. When you have word of mouth, it's a lot more powerful. John Wanamaker said, half the money I spend on advertising is wasted. So the problem is he doesn't know which half of his money is wasted because he doesn't know. He's spending so much darn money. Telemarketing, newspapers, door-to-door, door hangers, televisions, direct mail, radio, magazines, and billboards. Who wants to spend that kind of money, right? We don't have that money to spend to advertise. So we go into business in network marketing. And they're wasting billions of dollars in a traditional business scheme. None of these advertising methods is effective, as is word of mouth, okay? Network marketing is effective because of word of mouth. And I just explained that potential customers give more credence to their friends than they do to someone on a television. So it's one of the fastest growing business models today, and it's published in many different publications that tout as network marketing to be one of the greatest professions now in modern time, and many billionaires tout it as well. What are some of the publications and billionaires that tout it? Well, we've got Fortune Magazine, Forbes Magazine, Wall Street Journal, Time, Success Magazine, USA Today, to name a few. And then we have people like Warren Buffett, Kenny Trout, Richard Branson, Donald Trump have either owned or currently own network marketing companies. Now, these are billionaires. Why would they go and buy a network marketing company? To leverage time and build passive residual income? I think they're pretty smart. So you've got to be your own entrepreneur. You're going to earn profits, not wages. You're no longer going to trade your hours for your dollars. You're going to go and get profits instead of wages. That's incredible, right? So 90+% of the wealthy became wealthy by owning their own businesses, guys. They created wealth by earning profits, not wages. So everybody has a job. They're not going to get wealthy by having a job. You're only going to get wealthy by having profits. What did Cornelius Vanderbilt said? He said, never be a minion, always be an owner. Don't be one of those minions, like the little minions with the yellow hair and the little glasses and goggles. Don't be one of the minions. Be an owner. It teaches people how to build global businesses out of their own homes. And you can write your own history. You can write your own success story. You can write your own legacy. And you can write your own paycheck. Oh, isn't that exciting? It's so exciting. It's the most awesome phenomenon in the history of American capitalism. I will never forget the first time I heard Tarl Robinson say it. And I think I heard him say it on a video at one point, on an interview. But when I heard him say it in person, I literally teared up because I totally believed him. He stood in Edmond on the stage of it, like a little diamond panel. He came to Oklahoma in this hot room that, Ndidi, I think you were there. I think several of you were there. We were all sitting in the audience and we heard him say, network marketing is the last bastion of free enterprise in America. He said that. Network marketing is the last bastion of free enterprise in America. And I found my way to the stage and I did everything but hug him because I just don't know him. So I'm not going to go up and hug him and throw myself at him. But I shook his hand, like with my other hand too. And I said, thank you for making this company. Thank you for Plexus. And I said it with tears in my eyes. I'm like, I'm here to tell you, I'm going to the top. I'm doing it. I'm going to take all these people with me. Look, there's my team right there. And they're coming with me. And thank you for making Plexus. And he said, I believe you, Suzanne. I believe you. That's what he said. So I'm just so grateful because I get it. Do you get it though? Do you get it that network marketing is the last bastion of free enterprise in this country? Because it is, guys. It is. If you're willing to focus hard and work hard for 2 to 5 years. I mean hard. You're going to have to work hard. You can't just sometimes do something. You're going to have to hard work. When you don't want to work, when you're tired, you're exhausted, and your kids are screaming at you and they need you, you're going to have to sacrifice some time with them. You're going to have to cut it off and put them on your schedule and make a little plan or calendar and only have family time at those points and have big conferences with them and tell them mama is going diamond. Are you going to help mama go diamond? Because this family is going to go diamond. Daddy's going to be diamond, mama's going to be diamond, and you're going to be diamond, and we're going to go together. Who's on mama's team? I know I'm talking to a bunch of you that have children and I don't have them. I know that. It's easy for me to say, right? I know it is. But I will tell you from my own personal experience, I worked freaking hard. Sometimes 50 and 60 hours a week, but I still did my 20 to 30 more hours with Plexus. I still did it every single week. And that's the only reason I walked out of that job. That is the only reason. And I could have done it slower, but I would still be going back to teaching in August. I would have done it. Okay, moving on. I'm going off on something. Gotta quit. You can be a common person with a burning desire to be somebody. And you can achieve amazing success. You must work for yourself. And if you want to achieve financial independence, you have to work for you and not for somebody else. You've got to be your own business owner. Blue collar or surgeon, doesn't matter the difference. They both trade time for dollars. They give their time for money. That's what they do. It doesn't matter if they're a blue collar worker or a surgeon. It just doesn't matter. Okay, so you've got to not have a job. You've got to work for yourself. This is linear income when you trade your hours for dollars. So what does Randy Hedge say about linear versus residual income? It's not about what you do. It's about what you start. It's not about what you do. You can be a lawyer. You're always going to have to solve another law case, right? You're still going to have to go to trial. You're going to have to keep going to trials. You're going to have to do that every single day and every year and every month in order to earn a paycheck. And the next trial after the next trial after the next trial. And let me tell you, it'll take years off your life watching all those people being so with their drama, right? I'm just getting off on a tangent here. But what I'm saying is it doesn't matter what your profession is. As long as you work for someone else, you'll never be wealthy. You'll never create wealth. You have to work for yourself. If you stop working in linear income, you stop being paid. With leverage, you're paid repeatedly for working one time. And guess what else? You get to go into network marketing easy. It's an ease of entry. And that's the problem with so many people. They think, I'm not going to take this serious because it only cost me $35 to get started. So what did I lose? I'm just kicking it to the curb. If I'm not diamond in 2 weeks, see ya. Bye-bye. Take a hike. Well, guess what? It's not going to happen like that, right? Yes, you have ease of entry, and yes, it's a low startup fee, but that is a beautiful thing. But we can't take this for granted just because we have a low startup fee. So ease of entry, we pay a small fee just to get started. So you're going to pick your right company, and we've already picked the company on this call. We know where we're at. And then we're going to put in a small amount of money. We're going to put in a lot of hard work, and we're going to get a great deal of perseverance and involved. And success will definitely not happen overnight. But if you stick with it, you will find what you seek. And that, my friends, is the end of chapters 1 and 2. So I'm going to unmute every person. Questions, comments? I'm going to read everything that went up here. I'm reading it. I'm 40 and that totally hit me when I was reading. No fear here either, says Heather Heyman. Me too, says Brandy. I love network marketing, that we get to choose who we work with and have on my team. That one was an eye-opener, but you can make excuses or you can make money, but not both. I love that. Okay, Heather says her family's her why. Brandy says my kids are my why, being able to stay at home, being a stay-at-home mom and not missing anything in their lives. My husband and my kids are my why. I loved how he pointed out the power of 3 gives you leverage. The power of 3, the power of 3. Okay, Brandy, thank you for your compliments. I appreciate you. Awesome. Does anybody else want to make a comment or a question about anything?
I think my comment is when I read the book and it talked, I'm 55 years old, and it talked about how many Tuesdays. That
Me too.
really hit me. So you youngsters out there, you know, not that it's going to stop me at all, but I'm just saying that really hit me hard when I started.
Oh yeah,
the average
so.
ages. And I also really liked what he said about that he kind of attributed to being an athlete, that you're there and you have people in the grandstands cheering you on that are looking for you, because I do know how America is fixated on sports and cheering on a team. And I think, Suzanne, correct me, who was it? Was it the last speaker at convention? He talked about how everyone's like, yay, we won. And it's like, we didn't do anything. We just watched the game.
Exactly.
Remember that?
Yeah.
So I thought that was really neat about really giving you your why, putting it in perspective of everyone's watching you in the grandstand.
Yeah.
And they're looking at you to be successful and to reach your goals, and they're cheering you on.
Right.
That really hit me.
I enjoyed the homework. I did the
where I wrote down what I thought and felt it was going to be like to have the people in my grandstand. And that just kind of gave me, really good chill bumps. And I did the second chapter homework. I reached out to 3 top people in Plexus, and I actually got a response today from one of them. So,
yay!
Dusty responded to me.
Amazing. Mm-hmm.
And so, I really like that it has homework, because I enjoyed the homework with John Maxwell's workbook. So I'm enjoying the homework on this too, because that helped me reach out a little bit and get out of the old comfort zone, and reaching out to these big, I messaged Sheila Medina and Emily Roberts, and it was like, well, so now I'm just anticipating a response, hopefully, if they have time.
Dusty's the real deal, and I can speak for her, and I'm so glad that you reached out to her. I've never talked to Sheila, and I've never talked to Emily, even though I watched both of them, but Dusty is so down to earth, and she's an Oklahoma girl, and she just loves people. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I'm going to jump in here.
Go ahead.
I think the quote from the Dalai Lama is the thing that caught me. It's a miracle to be born.
Absolutely.
So what are you gonna do with your life? How do you want people to remember you as a people person? Not as a people person, as a success. I think that has a lot. I think that one quote has a lot to do with how you look at things. Because you said it, Suzanne, you only get one time around. So what are you going to do with it?
Mm-hmm. That's right. And every day that we wake up and we breathe in air and our heart beats is one last day we're going to be on the planet. So, we need to take it so seriously that this time has been given to us that's specific for us to do something absolutely incredible with, that literally we're going to create a destiny and hope for other people with the rest of our lives. It's exciting.
Well, I think it's just today's society that, we're groomed to forget that time is not infinite. You get so caught up in everything that you're doing and, what's going on around with, you lose a sense of reality. And I think when he talks about taking charge of your own reality, so many people have lost a sense of reality. You wake up, and for many people, it's already too late.
Right. Going through the motion.
Absolutely. It's like when you drive and you forget how you get there.
I know.
It's like, how did I get here?
Autopilot.
Because I know we've all done that.
Yeah, autopilot.
I wrote something on my Facebook earlier that stood out to me. Networking is more about heart and how much you want to change your life. It's more about action than ability. It's about honesty, integrity, and hard work. In other words, you can be a common person with a burning desire to be somebody, and you can achieve amazing success. I think that is Plexus. That's Plexus. I mean, you have to have heart, you have to believe, and you have to have passion for it. And as long as you're honest and people see that, you have integrity and they can trust you and what you're saying, then you'll be successful with it.
Amen.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorites.
From the business side, I don't know if can people hear me?
Yes.
Okay. From the business side, I'm a financial analyst and economist, so I highlighted distinguished economist and best-selling author Paul James Piles or whatever. Sees network marketing as the base for America's next big boom. He predicts millions of new millionaires will be created in the next 2 years through networking. That resonated with me because I live in Silicon Valley, so I've seen the Silicon Valley boom, and being part of America's next big boom would just be amazing because I've seen what it does for people. My husband and I can't afford to buy a house where we live because of the tech boom. Like, we both work in tech. We make great salaries. Well, he works in tech. I work in, I've done a lot of things. We both make really high salaries and we still can't afford to buy a home because of that tech boom. So us being part of America's next boom as network marketers really resonated with me because I would like to buy a home someday. And that's kind of, I told Suzanne this on Saturday or Sunday, that's my why is my family. And my big goal right now is for us to be able to buy a home. So that's why I work really hard and why I went silver in like 3.5 weeks, because I want this.
Good for you, Heather. So proud of you.
Thanks.
Yeah. I'm just going to say one thing about Heather. I had never talked to her. I'm going to brag on you just for a second, okay?
Okay.
All right. I had never talked to her before, and she wanted to Zoom with me, so I got on a Zoom. And I said, tell me a little bit about yourself. First thing she said about herself is this: I'm not afraid of anything. Give it to me. Show me where to go. Point me in the right direction. I'm like, girlfriend, you got it going on. You're like already. Now, I'm not predicting because, Heather still has a lot of work to do. But what I'm saying is that mindset of fearlessness and relentless fearlessness, like I'm going to throw out my fears, get rid of them, and go for it. That is what's going to get her where she needs to go. So that's what we're going to work on. And if whatever we have to do, I'm going to help y'all work on your fears. Because, as your leader, it's hard for me to relate to that because I'm kind of like Heather in that respect. But I am so serious. When I came back from convention, I'm like, I'm so glad they put the people that were afraid on stage. I'm so glad that they put them up and they were trembling. And Jessica Heffley said she was bawling her eyes out off the stage and shaking, and she couldn't even get up there and talk because she's so afraid to get on the stage. And I'm like, I need to learn that because that's my team. My team has not necessarily gotten rid of all their fears yet. And I want to help you guys to do that. So that was God's gift for me. That was like the vision that I just saw at convention. Okay.
Yeah, Dusty, you could tell when she was speaking, her notes were shaken. And that so resonated with me.
Yeah.
Because that would be me.
Yeah.
And she just resonated with me all over. It was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed this is kind of random, but I was at church on yesterday. Yeah, today's Monday, and we give out tickets, and it was my volunteer week at church. So I was giving out the tickets to all the fathers, and so I had to take it up to the preacher. And I don't like doing the offering bucket, so like I help with the service, is what I do at church. And so I don't like doing the offering bucket because I just feel awkward. But so anyways, so the leader of our group, he was like, well, you don't have to take it up there if you don't want to, and I was like, no, I'm fine to, take it up there. Well, I didn't know the preacher was gonna make me talk. So I was like, I had to introduce myself, and I was like, yeah. And so I had to call the numbers out and stuff, but I wasn't really like nervous about it. So, I think talking now more that I'm talking to more people, it's helped me, definitely in other areas too. But I just thought it was funny that, I had to talk when I went up there and pick out numbers. But
I have watched so many of you over the past year, and I have seen the growth in all of you, and it is literally astounding. I'm not here. I can say Jackie. I have seen Jackie grow immensely. And I don't want to say how, but I'm telling you, that girl has peeled back some onion layers, and she has grown in leaps and bounds. Angela Heyman has grown just absolutely leaps and bounds. I've watched her literally bloom in the last few months. Frankie, you have grown bolder. You have more confidence about yourself. Lori, that video you made today was head and tails, what should I say, head and shoulders above the first one you made. Oh my gosh. Talking about eliciting emotion, I mean, that's what it did for me. It brought me to where you were with your emotions, with your thoughts about your family. I mean, that's just incredible. I'm so proud of all of you guys, and I know you can do it. I know you can. I totally do. Every single one of you. I've seen it. And that's what's going to lead to your success is the growth. The growth, the growth, the growth.
I have to just say, from reading this book, the 2 chapters, and then mainly from convention, I've always been about the product, and the product sells itself when people take it and they use it and they see the testimonies. But more so after reading the book in convention was the opportunity side of this, the business side. And it has caught me more on fire to work with that side now. I got to be in a 3-way chat with someone today with one of my ambassadors and her potential, and she's got people ordering already, but just, she has to have it. She has to have the business side of that. So just him saying to pick a company that will share its advertising budget. And when I look back at that and think $34.95, like you said, are you kidding me? You have a business, a turnkey business for $34.95. Mm-hmm. That's it. And all these tools now that are at our disposal that our company has laid out, where we're not having to figure it out for ourselves, or you guys on our upline figuring it out and trying to feed it to us. It is there in that success kit that we have. Oh my gosh, I'm looking at that more and more. And I talked to somebody yesterday. I said, get your product cards out and put them in your purse and just take them with you wherever you go. And I heard that Brandy Lambert had pulled them out and was talking to somebody there in Phoenix with them, a potential. And I just thought, it's right there. You don't have to know it all. You don't have to learn it all at once. But that business side now, when I've looked at that for $34.95, good grief, the potential, the ROI, as Celeste says on it, you know, your return on investment. What? You know, Dee Dee went over with us at convention. She shared her, what if I had $10,000 a month? What would it look like, smell like, feel like, taste like? And she went down the list on each of those things in her life. And I just thought, that's it for $34.95. $34.95. That's it.
Yay, Kelly! Oh my God, I'm so glad that's recorded. I want you to go back and listen to that passion. That is so passionate. Oh my gosh. I can't wait for you to go back and watch yourself. You are on fire. That's
someone trim.
Do you know what? Feel it. Taste it. That's belief right there. That's belief.
Someone trim that and share it.
I will.
Go back and just play and play and play.
Awesome. So awesome.
Can I jump in on what I did today? I mean, yes. I'm one of those people that has zero fear, so keep that in mind. I work out at a place called Bar Method, and it's full of a lot of women that money's not an object. So I made friends with my instructor so that after class, like, I sit and I talk to her and stuff. So today I brought 96, Slim, Ease, a packet, like anything that's portable and like immediately shows results. I brought all of those. I talked to 3 or 4 people like at the front desk and my instructor. I ended up giving her a 7-day trial of Slim and some accelerator because she's like, I really want to lose weight for vacation. I'm like, okay, well, just try this. And they let me leave those samples and my business card on the front desk of Bar Method today.
Wow.
That's awesome.
I did not think that they would let me do that, but I was like, there's no harm in asking. Nope. And I was like, all right.
They could say no and oh well. Yeah.
So that's what I did.
Worst thing they could do is say no and oh well, just go to the next one.
Yeah, my mom has always said that. She's like, there's no hurt in asking. Like, might as well.
You don't get what you don't ask for.
So even if you're not as bold as the person as I literally talk to every single person I know about plexus, whether they want to or not. Do stuff like that. Have samples with you everywhere you go. My PV is so high this month because I ordered so many 7-day trials of Slim, so many 3-day trials of Slim and Accelerator, Ease Cream, Plexus 96. I worked out with one of my friends that weightlifts on Sunday, and I was like, hey, try our protein shake and let's try Boost together because I've never done it. And it was like phenomenal. And now he's going to become an ambassador, and he's already a network marketer for an Aptitude clothing company. So yeah, work in my warm market, having samples, do it. It's easy. You don't even have to talk to that many people. Just have it with you all the time. Mm-hmm. That's my business discussion for today. Go Plexus.
Yes. Awesome. Okay, Janet is asking a question. What do I do in the 20 to 30 hours I worked on Plexus? Okay, in the beginning, The majority I did, I would say 85 to 90% of the time, I'm on the phone calling prospects, calling my friends, let's meet for coffee, meeting them, going over the plan, going over the products, just doing prospecting. That's what I did. And I would say that took me from 0 to, the majority of the time, what I did from 0 to Ruby. Okay? From nobody to Ruby. That's what I did the most of the time. When Ruby hit and that team just started to go into momentum, because it just did. Okay? I implemented a lot of the things that I heard from last convention from Melissa Eichenhorst, and talked about doing what we're doing right now, Zooming with people, connecting faces, connecting people from across the country on this team, creating a culture of friendship, a culture of camaraderie, and people that are connected to each other, a family atmosphere, bringing that together, doing studies together, building relationships. That's what I started to do. Momentum started to go like this. And that's when I started to help more people. Okay, you want to do this? Let me help you. You want to do this? Let me help you. Okay, what's your goal? I'm going to help you. Okay, let's get this. Let's do that meeting. Let's do that breakfast. Let's do that dinner. Let's do all these things. And that's when I started to just do more of team building. And so that's when I did a lot more training and team building and those types of things. And now I would say 80% to 85%, I still do about maybe 80 to 85% is team building. And I still do my 15 to 20% personal growth in my business. I have to grow my own personal business, because if I'm not sponsoring, if I'm not getting new customers, if I'm not doing IPA every single day, if I'm not doing personal growth and development and talking about it and teaching from it, then who is going to do anything on this team? If I can't set the example, then nobody else will. Now, am I one of those big rock star sponsors that do 15 people a month? Sorry, that's never been me. I've never sponsored more than 5 a month. Now, does that mean I'm never going to sponsor more than 5 a month? No, I might do more, because now I have more time, right? But this is the first time in my life that I've never had school hanging over my head. So I don't know what I can do. Watch out. That's what I got to say.
Possibilities are endless.
So that's what I've been doing with my 20 to 30 hours outside of school. And mostly I did a lot of that on the weekends, and because I was too dead to do anything in the evening time. I would do it in the morning before school. I would get up an extra hour before school and work hard in the morning. I would also do my business at lunch during breaks, because I was still on. I still had my brain cells to rub together. But after school, done, like completely done. Like it's 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock at night. I've just got 2 more hours to go to bed and then get up and do the whole thing over again. It just was crazy. Getting up at 4:30 in the morning. Just nuts.
I work every extra second that I'm not job hunting right now or asleep. I do plexus on my phone. I wake up at 6:15. I plexus for about, I work my business for like an hour in bed until my phone dies usually. And then I get up and I go to my computer, and then I look at resumes, and I try to apply for corporate jobs, which I don't really want right now anyways. And then in between interviews and in lifts and in cars and in between workouts and in between life, I plexus. Even if it's 2 minutes that I have free, I'm checking emails, I'm checking messages, I'm checking follow-ups.
Right.
I have this crazy notebook of follow-ups. Suzanne saw my crazy notebook. That's what I do. And I love it. And that's how I was able to create such a market already.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Does anybody else have any other last minute things they want to say, reflections or questions before we sign off? I know we're excited and we're just so thrilled to be together, and I just love all of you. I'm so glad to see your faces.
I just wanted to add one more thing.
Go right ahead.
I know we talk a lot about the business and all of that, but I had a really nice call today from a woman I went to high school with who suffered from MS for years.
Wow.
And she's been a fence sitter. And she reached out to me. I haven't talked to her since December. She had taken a 7-day trial and really didn't do anything with it. And she's desperate, and people are desperate out there. She doesn't feel well. She loves watching things on Facebook that I'm posting. And I mean, it really warmed my heart today because she's going to start. And I'm just so hopeful for her that there's a better way for her to live. Because as people know my story, I was feeling crappy too. I feel so much better now, and I'm just so proud to be part of this organization and to be able to offer her a sense of hope. So she and another friend at work have been watching, and they're getting on board. And I'm just hoping and praying for her that she's going to start the products and she's going to probably see immediate relief from just how lousy she feels.
That's amazing.
Yep.
I'm happy for her.
I am too. It took her a long time, but and that's why you have to keep being consistent.
Yeah.
And when people are ready, they're going to come to you. If you haven't already reached out to them.
And sometimes you'll follow up with them the 7th, the 8th, the 10th, the 12th time, and they'll go, you know what? I've been thinking about you. I'm ready. And your follow-up is the thing that ignites them to say, I'm ready.
Yes, and that was my big takeaway at convention was that's my weakness is the follow-up. And that's what I'm putting my efforts into now.
Awesome, ladies. You're just so amazing. You all inspire the heck out of me. You make me just feel like I can do anything. I want you to know that. That's what you make me feel like.
I think you pretty much make us feel the same. So
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, well, I'm going to put this up on the page and chapters 3 and 4 next week. Love y'all. And don't forget our power hour tomorrow night. Susie and I work like beasts on this thing. We get it organized, and guess what? Heather Heyman's going to be on. She's going to have Allie with her. They're going to be a power team. We're going to have Lambert on, who's here with us tonight. She's going to be on to tell her story. And we're also going to have somebody from Kelly's team, which is not here. Kelly just left. But it's a gal and her husband, and he suffers from PTSD. So we
Heather Sand.
Yes, there we go. We cannot wait to have them on. It's actually Lauren Wynn and her husband.
Oh, okay.
Lauren Wynn and her husband. Yeah. So
there's two people with the same story then.
Exactly. You got a lot of those going around. So they're going to be incredible. Don't forget to send the messages out to all your fence sitters. Get them on the call. We're going to have a password at the end, and they can message it back to you, and I will mail them a 7-day trial if they win the drawing. Okay.
And this is only going to be it's going to be under 45 minutes long.
45 minutes max. Okay.
Yeah. But it's 9:00 Eastern time.
It is. It's Eastern because we have people from the West Coast that are going to be on it. Okay. All right. Love y'all. Y'all do it.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Suzanne.